Bro, what the fuck? Whoa!
Yeah. Pain. Yeah. Hey. I just wanna touch the tide, baby said that she in love and she don't love the lie. Been chillin' with all the bros, I've been above the spot. Shawty said that things change, well it does a lot. Hey, watching out the payment, man, the sun is high. Yeah, lost inside the heart, but it's emerging right. I've been out the way and I'm good, I can find my home. Everything I said it was is not. Yeah, Jamaica, how you layin'? Yeah, you ain't say none, what you saying, baby? I lost you, but who's paying? Don't know why you hit my phone, why you playing? Yeah, I can't handle it without the trusting, yeah. I can see the top, I wanna touch it, yeah. We been getting money, no discussion. I don't let it top of shorty always get the fussy, yeah. Hey, I like the cruise on it. Say she like the way I sound and how I groove on her. I been steady dodging bullets, how I move on her. But he talking out his neck and not a crew on her, yeah. And I'm sliding, shawty like the vibe, don't want the ride to end, yeah. To the nice end, yeah. To the nice end, I can always keep the cool, I'm never fighting. Man, I love was all the cake without the icing. Now I found new love, different pricing. And it won't cost my soul, no devices. Yeah, I ain't got a plan for it, I'm the man for it. Still the Brody couldn't stand for it, it's very important. I've been off the edge, I've been feeling the wind blowing. I can lose my head and my heart, but they been gone. I just hit the edge of stairs when it's dead time. I just lost promises, I regret mine. I just get a lot of love on the west side. I'm the go, but I would never be the best guy. You might take me out of business like a Best Buy. Talk about the go to maybe soon, I know that's right. Yeah. Talk about the go to maybe soon, I know that's right. Thinking about the future, looking good, and it's the best side. I remember.
All right. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Ride the Tide Sports Podcast, Season 2, Episode 25. I'm your host, Tyco. I'm here with Snoop Luke today. Dylan should be joining us at some point during this podcast. He is currently getting off his shift at the golf course, putting those carts away. So we'll see when he'll be joining us tonight. But for now, you have the two co-founders of Ride the Tide Sports Podcast here, Tyco and Snoop Luke. So we're gonna get into it and give it to you guys the best we can tonight. Luke, how you doing today?
You know, I'm doing pretty good. Didn't have too brutal of a day at work. Got back, it's just relaxing. What about you? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. The beer is selling, money's good, and the sports are wild right now. So
Sports are
lot
wild
to
right
lot
now.
to talk about, and I cannot complain at all. But when it comes to sports, we're just gonna get right into it. Starting with honestly what I think is the most important topic on my mind right now, and that is the title of today's podcast, and that is Miguel Cabrera getting robbed. And honestly,
Some
I
bullshit.
should change that. Let me change that.
Getting scammed.
Detroit fans today were robbed. Okay?
Yes.
So here's what happened for those of you that aren't aware. Detroit was playing New York today in the final game of their series, and Miguel Cabrera coming into this game had 2,999 hits, and Miguel Cabrera left this game with 2,999 hits. Now, could he have gotten 3,000? Sure. He had a couple of bats that he struck out, and then struck out again, and then he was out again. And then it came to a bat number 4 late in the game. You got two guys on. You got an open base at first. They just turned 2. So there's 2 outs. Nobody on first. Miguel Cabrera coming up to bat. Everyone in the stands is waiting for Miguel Cabrera to hit 3,000 because that's the milestone. Everybody left work all morning. I'm listening to Detroit Sports Talk Radio, and everyone's calling in. Hey, I just got my boss to let me off work. Like, I'm going down to watch Miguel Cabrera hit number 3,000. Like, yada yada yada, this, that, and the other thing. Everyone's taking off. Hey, these kids called in. Hey, we just got out of school. We're going down there. Everyone dropped what they were doing today and went down to the game. And it came down to this last at bat. And everyone's like, oh, Miguel Cabrera, like, oh, he got out in the bottom of the sixth. Like, there's a good chance, like, he doesn't bat again because there wasn't a lot of offense in this game. Late in the game, the Tigers rally. And like I said, he comes up, no one on first, 2 outs after the Yankees just turned a double play. And what does the Yankees skipper decide to do? Walk him intentionally. And the proper response, in my opinion, was given because Detroit fans booed the living shit out of the Yankees
they should
for as long as possible. And Austin Meadows comes up to bat. They're still booing. They're still booing. They're still booing. Austin Meadows hits the ball. It drops in for a base hit. 2-run score because the bases were loaded and everyone was going with 2 outs. So 2-run score on that. Everyone cheers while that happens. And then as soon as he calls time and everything stops, they go right back to booing. And then for the next 10 to 15 minutes, all you're hearing is booing and Yankees suck chants because they ruined the chance at Miguel Cabrera hit number 3,000. Even though he had the other chances in the game, I understand that. But, in this situation, you don't intentionally walk him. In my opinion, you have to pitch to the guy. So, Luke, what is your analysis on this? I know you were following this, and you stayed after work, I'm pretty sure, just to watch it. And
I refused to leave my work's parking lot until I saw MIGGY walk up to the plate for the last at-bat for the game. And I waited all that time in the goddamn parking lot, watching my phone, to watch him get intentionally walked. Are you kidding me? What? Like, that's some pussy-ass shit. I get you're down by 1. Oh, yeah, you could have forced out at every base. Boo, boo, boo. We were trying to win. Motherfucker, it's so early in the season. These games don't even fucking matter right now. They don't matter until you get down to the final stretch. Like, holy fuck. We got some history on the line. Fucking, and you're intentionally walking that guy? When, one, let's just be a little bit brutally honest. MIGGY has not really been a threat the last
5
years
years
or so.
At least 5.
You could probably go a lot further than a few years, yes.
Yeah.
But like,
I think the last time Miguel Cabrera was a problem in this league was like 15, 16.
And then what?
It's been a while since then.
He wants the lefty and lefty matchup with Meadows, who actually, he's not like the best, but like I heard, he's not
Career,
shit.
he's 240 against lefties with like a 771 OPS, which is pretty damn good. So I don't understand the analytics side of that. Plus, like you were saying, it's a game in April, and the games in April really don't freaking matter. So can you just let the guy go for his milestone and pitch to him? Plus, you're the New York Yankees. You're the powerhouse of the league, and you're backing away from a guy that hasn't been a top-notch hitter in 5 years. Grow a pair, Yankees. Grow a pair.
Fucking salty asses, they were losing.
Yeah. And what happened?
We won 2
Baseball
of the
gods and karma turn around, bite him in the ass, and the Tigers scored 2 runs,
we won
shut him out 3-0.
We won 2 of the 3 games. Oh, fuck. We're going to sweat our dicks off, not let MIGGY fucking win because we won 2 of the 3 games. And fuck, we're losing the last game. We're not sweeping. Let me go fucking cry in a corner.
Absolutely freaking ridiculous.
Fucking bums.
But the NHL and their scoring absolutely cannot stop. The NHL is on pace to have their highest scoring season in about 30 years. And I think that's been pretty evident this year, especially being a Detroit fan, as I personally have seen the Wings get mollywopped and stomped so many times that there's no way that we're not breaking the goal record because, like, teams that are playing the Wings alone are going to break this record.
But I honestly believe it because I remember a couple times throughout the season me mentioning to you, it's like, bro, these like hockey games are just so high scoring. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's like this is shit you see in like minor leagues, like lower tier hockey, because the goalies aren't really fully there, and there's a lot more skill separation between the very skilled guys and the very shit guys that are just filling a spot. And you just don't see this at the highest level of hockey. Like, you really just don't.
You really don't. No, I agree 100%. And this weekend, the NHL set a record of 153 goals were scored over this past weekend.
That's insane, bro. What the?
So the league is on pace right now for its highest scoring season since 1996.
Like, it used to be like going
Almost
like
30 years.
6 goals was like, okay, that's getting a bit high. Then if you went
Mhm.
over 6 goals, you're like, holy fuck, that's a high scoring hockey game. Now it's like you can't even say that because we got fucking over
We got like
10
9 and
goal
10 goal
games.
games.
We've
Yeah.
had 14 goal games. Fucking,
Like,
yeah,
okay, in the beginning of the season, we
had
went to
Pens
the
and Wings.
Detroit versus Tampa game, right?
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but it was what, 8-7 final in overtime or whatever?
No, 7-6.
7-6. Yeah. I don't think I've seen that many goals scored in a hockey game that I've like went to live ever until then. And now I was like, this is a crazy concept. Like 7-6, like that's a high scoring hockey game. Like this is wild. But then it happened all year.
See, like, you would see this as a hockey fan, and it would blow your fucking mind because you're just like, dude, this is like a once in a blue moon thing. You never see blowouts like this in the NHL. It just doesn't happen.
Even
That,
like a close game like the one we went to. Like
but
it just
now,
doesn't happen. Like 13 goals, that doesn't happen.
now it's like, holy fuck, dude. The people are just lighting up the back of the net, and it's not even like goalies are playing like. Not even all the goalies are playing bad. It's just like, dude, the skill of these players
I
now
think
are
it might
just
be
snipers.
the skill of the offense mixed with I don't think the defense is what it used to be in the NHL. I don't think that teams focus on it as much as
Yeah.
they used to. Like I feel like 5 to 10 years ago, I could name a lot more elite NHL defensemen, specifically like on the defensive end, like not goal scoring defensemen. And like today, I don't feel like I could name nearly as many defensive defensemen as I could 10 years ago. And I think the game is evolving that way to be a lot more
It's
high
evolving
scoring.
more.
And
Yeah.
I honestly, as a hockey player for most of my life, I don't love that very much. I'm not a huge fan of that. I love because as a defenseman, I like the defensive side. I like good defensive plays, good tight hockey. Like I don't like fucking it's 8-5. Like both teams on the defensive end, you're getting shit on. Like you're playing horribly. Like clearly,
Exactly.
you know.
And
But
it's
with
like
that being said,
no
you
one
know,
wants to go to a 1-0 hockey game. Like, yeah, that's fucking boring as shit, no matter how good
but
defensively
that's
or
such a
bad it
good
is.
hockey game.
It is, but it's like it's still
And
longing
I
to
know
get
it's not what
through.
anyone wants
We
to
gotta
see
have
as
we
a
gotta have
fan.
like uh 3 to 5, like not even 3 to 5. Yeah, no, 3 to 5 goals spread out between both teams. That's a
Yeah,
good fucking hockey game. That's just
yeah.
means people
A
capitalize on
3-1
a
hockey
couple
game,
mistakes.
a 4-2 hockey game, like that's good hockey. But like these it's getting out of control. But
Because
Ovi is contributing to that because Ovechkin has reached the 50 goal mark this year. Luke, what do you have to say about that? I know you've been
well,
supporting Ovi a lot this year. I literally can't believe it just says OV and not the I, but I'll fix that. Ov reaches 50.
over, over. But that's huge. I mean, it's nothing new for him. Let's be real. He's done this plenty of fucking times. But just still doing it this late in the career just proves how big of a fucking stallion is at shooting the goddamn puck.
Exactly, bro. The Great Eight ties Timu Solani now for the most goals by a player aged 36 or older. The countdown to 50 is on at 48. And then when he did eventually reach that milestone of 50, there was plenty to be said. Everyone was happy for him, and the Cap Star tied the most 50-goal seasons in NHL history with the breakaway slap shot against the Vegas Golden Knights. So he is now tied for the most 50-goal seasons in NHL history. Do you think he breaks it?
Yes. That man is literally showing no sign of slowing down.
Is he the Tom Brady of hockey?
I don't know. I don't know if you can say that.
Or was that
Because
Yager?
what's fucked up is if
Because
you
it
want
could
to
have been
talk
Yager.
about because then
Was
you got to talk
Yager the
about
Tom Brady of hockey?
because
Wait.
you got to talk about rings if you're going to start comparing Brady.
Wait.
And then you start comparing multiple rings and then you got to get Pat Maroon in the picture.
Okay, so the new question of discussion: Yager
You
or
don't want to do
Brady?
that.
Who defied Father Time better? Because they're both still playing. Granted, Yager's not playing in the NHL. They're both still playing against Father Time right now, and they're both old dirtbags, and they're both pooping on everyone that said they couldn't do it. So, who's the GOAT against Father Time, in your opinion? Yager or Brady? On the spot.
I have to listen. Normal people would give it to Brady because he's still at the top in the NFL, like at the tippity top, playing against the fucking elite. Yager, he's not doing that. He's been out of the NHL for a while because no team really just wanted him. He was just old baggage. But he is in a position to where he has been being like he has to play because his name keeps his organization alive and creates money for his organization. He can't leave. So he is
So,
literally
who's the GOAT against Father Time, though, is the question.
Got to give it to Yager because this man is doing what needs to be done when his name's being called upon. Brady's name's not really
I
being called
respect
upon. He's choosing to do this.
it. Brady's more called upon to leave than he is to stay. In all honesty, everyone's like, "Can you just please?"
I told you he's gonna sit at home with his family and be like, "Fuck," and you get back to the field. Fuck them kids.
And then that's exactly what happened. But we're got UFC news coming up next with Snoop Lee.
I'm talking in guap, now I'm speaking in fluent. When I hit the road, I won't leave till I do it. Acting out of hand, I'm like, be what you doing. We started off good, can't believe that we ruined it, yeah. I tried to fix with a sewing kid, yeah. I tried to fix it, you know I did, yeah. I tried to fix it, you know I did, yeah.
Well, all right, we got some fucking UFC news, and it's not all the best. Because to start it out, we got Robert Whittaker is out of UFC 275. That is just fucking tough news. He hasn't fight Marvin Vettori, probably to work his way back to a fight with Israel Adesanya to fucking lose again. But, his ankle injury just saved him. Rest up. You're still a fucking brute of a fighter.
Still stallion, buddy. Still
Still a fucking stallion. But we got to move on to some wild ass news because Dana is shooting for a big fight come summertime because he is trying to line up and hoping for John Jones.
Oh no. Okay.
And
John Jones?
Stipe Miocic.
Oh golly.
Yeah.
This is like June, July?
There's
Dana.
just summer.
Oh, Dana.
This would be a fucking fight.
Banger.
Because
that's a banger.
Normally speaking, if John hasn't been on his whatever the fuck he's been on in his past outside of the UFC, and he's been fighting since the fucking start, I would be on John Jones' fucking side 1,000% without even a question.
I can't see you not being on John Jones' side, Luke.
He's been out of the game for a while, and
we see what that.
Yeah, we see what that does to fighters being out of the octagon for a long time. Look at Nick Diaz.
Does that worry you with McGregor when his comeback comes?
No, because this is a little bit different from how that happens.
For sure.
He took more than
Just
a
needed to
year
get your
off. He took a
perspective.
couple
I was
years
like,
off,
does it go for all fighters or
switched up
is McGregor different?
styles. He completely switched up styles too, so that was even fucking more drastic.
But okay, John Jones for sure. That would be a huge fight. That would be huge.
That'd be absolutely fucking huge. I want to see that man fight. I haven't seen him fight, but Stipe would put up a very good fucking fight because he is a great fighter. Yeah, he looked stupid against Ngannou, but that was because
Hey,
Ngannou
it's
got
hard
the
to look
best.
that. Yeah.
Stipe's
Cut him some
worst
slack.
night, Ngannou's best night. All right, let's just put it like
Yeah,
that. And then
exactly.
Stipe welcoming John Jones back would be fucking perfect because we'll see how John Jones is after all this time off
Yeah,
against
but
a
you
good
need the
fucking
dub.
fighter. But moving on to UFC 52. Woo! Because we got, for the fucking co-main event, we got Clay Guida. Fuck, I did. Guida.
Guida?
Guida.
Looks like Guida.
Guida. Yeah, I fucked that up the first time, and then I couldn't say it after that. I had it down beforehand.
Let's see the second one.
Claudio. See, they're
Last
so
name.
fearless.
All right, you ready? This is how I would say them. I got Clay Guida and Claudio Puelas.
Puelas. Yeah, it could be.
That's what I got. All right, what do we got? What do we know about these bitches, huh?
Well, we know about these bitches. It's going to be a fucking ground and pound, fucking grappling, fucking war to the fucking death. There's going to be a lot of blood. There's going to be a lot of grappling. There could be a submission. There could be a TKO on the ground. But this will not be fucking standing.
Hell no. Doesn't sound like it.
And
my least favorite kind of fights. Cool.
And fucking Clay, he's a fucking absolute legend. He's a fucking veteran. But he's kind of, this might be a little bit too much for him to handle because fucking Claudio is a little bit of a menace right now.
Hey, aren't we all sometimes? Come on.
Yeah.
You gotta be.
Gonna have to give me Claudio.
All right, Claudio. What else we got?
We got Amanda Lemos and Jessica Andre.
What do we know about these peeps, huh? What do we know?
This is basically a fucking brute fighter against a fucking someone who can go the distance. Because Jessica Andre is just an absolute. All she does is walk forward and swing and fucking throw. But she doesn't go that deep in fights. And my pick.
Does she have to though?
She doesn't have to, but she's going to have to in this fight because my girl Amanda Lemos is going to be taking her to the distance to get her biggest win of her career.
Hey, you heard it here, folks. Biggest win of her career.
To put herself in a good title shot against Rose fucking Namajunas and get her fucking lights knocked out. So she can have her turn to get her lights knocked out by Rose.
Yes, and if you would like your lights knocked out for almost no cost at all, other than the cost of a plane ticket, just call Mike Tyson, because this man, Mike Tyson, has appeared in the news again recently, and I feel like it's only appropriate to bring this up during the UFC talk, because Mike Tyson was on a plane, and it looked like a rather nice international flight that he was on, and I saw the video, and this guy was heckling him from behind, like the seat behind him. And the video that I saw was a clip of this guy recording him going, "No way, he's heckling Mike Tyson," like zooming in and stuff, like, haha, this is wild. And then it video cuts, and then it cuts back, and the kid's just like sitting there like this. And like the right side of his face is all messed up because Mike Tyson done messed him up because he was heckling him.
I'm here.
What up, Dylan? Did you see this clip about Mike Tyson beating this guy up on the plane for heckling him?
Yeah, I did. And the guy deserved every fucking second of it. If there's a guy like Mike Tyson on a plane and you know what he's capable of and you know what he's done, don't piss him off. Don't provoke him.
They obviously
don't Poke it. I don't care if it's on a plane.
What?
Oh, sorry. I thought I heard
What are you
everything
saying?
just go. I heard everything just
Say
go quiet,
stuff.
so I thought audio cut out for me, and I thought I
No,
was lagging.
you were just talking, and then you
I
stopped
thought I was
talking.
lagging, so I was waiting for it to fucking start loading and fucking come back to
Fix your
fucking
brain.
normal. But we're so nothing ended up being fucked up.
You
But
got something with Mike Tyson or no?
yeah,
Huh? Eh?
you like I don't understand when fucking people are gonna start fucking understanding. Don't fuck with actual fighters, no matter how old they get. I mean, they obviously know who Mike Tyson is. That it's not like it's hard to find recent footage of him training within the past year or so. He may be slower than he used to be, but that's because he's older. But he's still fast as fuck and can hit like a truck. Still faster than almost all of us. Goddamn.
Nice one,
He's a
Dr.
scary
Seuss.
man. Don't know why you would even try to piss him off because you know from his past he has a short temper. He's never had a temper he can manage where he won't just want to fucking pop off and just start punching you in the fucking face or just start ripping you apart and like making threats at you because he's a
That's
Call
big
scary
that
dude.
facts.
walking into a
That's
losing
big
battle.
facts.
Like,
So look, moral of the story here: don't piss off Mike Tyson, and if you're gonna do it, like probably don't do it on a plane where you're literally trapped.
like
That's
are
just
people
not. It's not the best idea.
are people really surprised that he started punching the guy? Like
I'm not.
it's like, are people surprised that Masvidal fucking suckered Kobe after the shit he said? It's like when you say certain shit to fighters, they will, and they have the obvious power. You tilt them off, they're gonna fucking do some damage.
Here's the last thing I'll say. With the amount of people that go on Twitter and make threats and will do this and that, the one thing I'll back up about, like, basically to sum up what you're saying in a way is when MMA fighters make those threats that you'll see on Twitter or like when they talk in a microphone and they say some shit, 9 times out of 10, they're the people that will do it. And they're not just saying it to say it. They're going to fall through with whatever threat
Even
or whatever
boxers.
they're going to do. Exactly.
Any type of
Yeah,
fighter.
people that know how to fucking do the shit that they do.
It's like
They're
that's
gonna
why
follow through.
you gotta be careful when you fight a stranger. You don't know what the fuck they know, or if they know how to fight, or if they don't, and they don't know
But when
shit.
you're as stupid as this guy and it's not a stranger, well, you're strangers, but
Like,
you know who he
you
is and you know
know.
he's a fighter. Don't be stupid. Be better. Be
better.
more like
That's like
basketball.
those dumb
Call a foul on
people.
yourself.
That's like those dumb
By the way,
people.
we got basketball.
Oh yeah, that's good.
They still deal with all the ice on in the booth. At the gate outside, when they pull up, they give me loose. Yeah, jump out, boys. That's like keep boys stopping our coach. This shit way too big. When we pull up, give me the loot. Was off the Remy, had a back boost. Had to hit my whole town, lift up the news. 2 4 hour lockdown, we made no moves. Now it's 4 a.m. and I'm back up popping with the crew. I just landed in, Chase B mixes pop like Jamba Joe. Different color chains, think my jeweler really selling fruits, and they joking.
All right, so we don't have downtown cash picks, but we do have to discuss some brackets that were made by the boys for the boys. So we're gonna go around here. We'll start with Dylan because he has the god awful ugly bracket that I want to get off the screen. So I'm gonna put it up. Dylan, just tell us your picks here. Your analysis on what you think's gonna go down in the NBA playoffs.
You don't like my
here, right?
colors?
No, I think this is hideous. But
Sorry, I'm the only one that tried to put a little bit of fucking color in there. But anyways, here's essentially where I was coming from. The only thing that I want to noticeably point out from the first round is I have the Nets beating the Celtics in Game 7. I just want that to be pointed out because that's the only game that I really do think is going to be a Game 7. I think it's going to be that type of series. And the other really big one I wanted to point out is the Pelicans and the Suns. Devin Booker is going to be out for the next 2 to 3 weeks, it looks like. And that is a very big situation that I don't think that Phoenix is going to actually be able to come back from with just CP3, Mikal Bridges, and Ayton. So I'm going to actually that's probably the only big noticeable one. But when it comes to my Final Four, I do have the 76ers beating the Heat. I think that the way Embiid's playing right now, I'll get into that in a little more in a minute, but it's unbelievable. I see him going to the championship against the Nets because I think the Nets and Bucks is going to be just as good as the series as it was last year. Mavericks, I tried to be biased, but also strategic. I do think Pelicans, they pull it off. I could see the Mavericks beating the Pelicans. Luka will be back. And then this is when I had to get realistical. I want to take the Mavericks over the fucking Warriors and just bias me. But I to 9 times out of 10, I see the Warriors winning that game. Warriors Nets in the finals. I think KD and Kyrie went on some fuck shit, and the Nets win it all. Who's next?
All right. Well, I'm going to start it off with the top left. We're going to start it off with the East because I got the Heat over the fucking Hawks. Okay? Because, the Heat are just fucking number one. Unless it...
Okay, this is like a solo thing, and you were like waiting for a response from somebody.
Yeah, I was like, are you just going to go one by one and wait for us? Like, do what I did.
Okay. Okay, I guess you're staying.
I don't know why I'm still here.
All right, then next I got the 76ers over the Raptors because the Raptors are shit. And they don't belong in playoffs. I also got the Bulls over the Bucks because fuck the Bucks. Let's go Bulls. I got Boston over the Nets because Boston's taking this in Game 5.
Game 5. Okay.
Then
My ass.
we're just gonna continue with the East because we got Boston beating the Bulls to go to the conference, and we got the 76ers beating the Heat to go to the conference, and we got Boston going to the finals from the East. Then over to the West, we got the shining bright Suns. It's gotten a little cloudy with D-Book gone, but you're not just the number one team in the fucking league with just one player and against the 8th fucking seed. We should still be able to get it done. I still got the boys' backs. They're still fucking gonna do it. The D-Book's gonna come back. They're gonna go for a fucking nasty run. But then
back in the finals,
we got the Mavs over the Jazz. Because, Mavs have
thanks.
been
I
kind of
appreciate that.
Mavs, I'm giving the Mavs the respect I've been seeing all season long. But then we got the Warriors over the Nuggets because the Warriors are fucking just fucking Warriors. They got Steph fucking Curry, and they're the fucking Warriors. You can't just not pick the Warriors in the first round playoffs.
And Jordan Poole been balling.
He's the third Splash Brother.
Then we also got a great upset with the T-Wolves upset the Grizzlies. But that's only going to last so long because then they're going to get beat by the Warriors for the Warriors to move on to the
this
conference
is all I'm gonna
finals.
say. This is all I'm going to say. I was going to make fun of Luke, but it's currently Game 3, and the Timberwolves are winning.
Yeah, they're
59 to 58 in the third quarter. They're up by 2 points.
Then we got, obviously, the Suns smoking the Mavs to go on to the conference finals after D-Book comes back.
Obviously.
And then, as I fucking told you at the start of the season, D-Book's going to come back all healthy, nice after smoking the Mavs. Dethrone Steph fucking Curry at the conference finals to go to the finals to fuck up Boston to get himself a ring.
All right, Luke Dacey and his analysis on what his prediction is for the NBA playoffs. All right, last up. Here we go. I got the Hawks beating the Heat and taking that series. So Hawks move on there. Next up, the 76ers defeating the Raptors, who are just lucky that they got to be in the playoffs this year. The Bucks defeat the Bulls because the Bulls are a fraudulent good team this year. They proved that all season long and are going to prove it again in the playoffs. Then we got the Nets defeating the Celtics. I like Dylan, also see this going to a Game 7. This series is going to be hectic, and ESPN can't get enough of Kyrie versus Boston. The Suns, I have them beating the Pelicans. I must say Clippers. The Pelicans, I have them, even though they lost D-Book, I still have them beating the Pelicans because the Pelicans are not as good as the Suns, like Luke said. And then I have the Mavericks beating the Jazz because the Mavericks are honestly a better team in the playoffs than the Jazz. Luka by himself is better than the Jazz in the playoffs. So Mavs there. Warriors, I have beating the Nuggets, and Grizzlies, I have beating the Timberwolves, even though the Grizzlies still need to prove they are a playoff team. I think that they can definitely do that in this series, and they need to in order for my bracket to be correct. So let's hope for it. Then we got the Warriors beating the Grizzlies after that because the Grizzlies are not a playoff team and the Warriors are an all year round team. And so they're going to win that series. Then I got the Suns beating the Mavs. Honestly, that one was kind of a throw up for me because I was like, man, if D-Book's still not back, Luka could low key take down the Suns by himself. But honestly, I feel like D-Book will find a way to come back sooner. So I got the Suns there. And then 76ers I have beating the Hawks. 76ers I have also going to the finals, beating the Nets after the Nets defeat the Bucks in that series. I think the Nets just had too much firepower, and Giannis had his time in the spotlight, and now the Nets need to prove that all the money they spent is actually going to end up getting them something. So Nets there. But Nets do lose to the 76ers. I think the Nets 76ers are bound to meet in the conference finals, especially after the blockbuster trade that they had. So I have Nets and 76ers in the conference, Suns and Warriors in the conference. NBA Finals matchup, I have 76ers taking on the Warriors. I think this would be a 6-game series, and eventually the Golden State Warriors would come out as the NBA champions, and Jordan Poole would be named playoff MVP.
I was told not to make my picks biased. You picked your favorite team. He picked his favorite team. I'm upset.
Look, I just tell you not to make your picks biased because usually you're wrong. And you explained to me while making your bracket that you said, oh, well, I'm just going to pick Dallas, but then I'm going to have to pick a new team to win the whole thing, so I'm just not going to pick Dallas.
No, don't explain it. That's not what happened.
That's what you said
That's
to
not what
me.
I said.
That's
I
what you
said, I
said.
want to pick Dallas, and then you said, but then you're going to end up having to pick a new team for the whole thing. And I said, fine, I'll pick the Warriors. I don't want to be biased. But then Luke picked Boston and the Suns, who has two favorite teams from each fucking conference.
Luke doesn't
Boston
watch basketball,
and
so
Suns.
how about you get off his dick?
What else do you want
Doesn't-
me to
doesn't apply to
fucking
Luke.
What do you
do?
expect from Luke?
Like,
And I
the
picked the
fuck?
Warriors to win because they have.
We can't just make the rules that work around Luke. They apply to everyone here.
So what? I was supposed to pick the Nets instead of the Warriors, or the 76ers instead of the Warriors? I mean, there's going to be the Warriors and someone in the finals coming out of the West, most likely.
I've been only.
I knew
there's
you
four
had
options.
Hey,
They're
Ty,
good.
I've been
the
only
Sixers and the
preaching
Nets,
since
or
the
the
Suns.
Warriors or the Suns.
I've been only
There's 4
preaching
teams.
since the Suns lost in the finals last year that they were gonna fucking make a comeback tour and get themselves a ring.
I just said.
Yeah, and then
Phoenix is
D-Book got injured,
understandable
so they're
'cause the
probably
best
going to
team in
not,
the
but
league.
we'll see.
But the Boston Fire.
And they were, yeah, they were. But it's not often in most sports, the team that wins the most games in the regular season does not win the title.
It makes it harder, in my opinion.
Weird. I know, because like the expectations are raised.
And now with D-Book out,
we got
they're gonna earn
puck
it.
luck picks to get into next, boys. Puck luck picks.
Yeah. Oh, get to the guap, it's a must. Speak on the top of my brothers, it's blood. None of these niggas get trust. You cannot question, you know what it was. What was you doing for us? These niggas mad cause I'm putting in work. Like I speak fluent in Russian. Did you catch that?
All right, everybody knows the drill at this point, so let's just get right into it. Puck luck picks. Go around the horn. Dylan, you're starting us off. Seattle Kraken. Here we go.
Oh, we're gonna start with the Kraken game. Okay.
Oh no, I was just saying what he's wearing.
Oh.
Game 1. Go ahead.
Okay. Game number 1. We have the Ottawa Senators going to Columbus Friday night at 7 p.m. Eastern to play the Blue Jackets.
All right, I'm gonna make my pick based off of prior knowledge from Luke. He always said the Senators are the best worst team. If that's still true, I'm gonna take Ottawa.
Luke, is that still true?
You know, here's the thing. This when it comes to these two teams, it's a big kind of coin flip because they're both kind of good shit teams. But you know, I'm still sticking with what I've been saying with Ottawa is still the best shit team in the league.
Hey, give that an Ottawa sweep, baby, because I ain't taking Columbus. I just don't think Columbus is good at all. So I'm going to take the Ottawa Senators. Game number 2, what do we got?
All right, game number 2. This is what threw me off at the beginning. We have the
Oh,
Seattle
Zach. Oh, I'm so sorry,
Kraken
Zach.
going to Minnesota to play the Wild Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern.
They set me up for this one, Zach, bro. This is not personal, but I'm wearing the shit, and it has to be against. Yeah, okay. So Minnesota has failed me 1, 2, 3 times in a row. I'm done with them. Fuck them. I got my Kraken shit on. You know I'm riding Seattle. Give me Seattle all the way. I know who's the better hockey team. All right. I know on paper who should win, but Seattle's gonna win. It's gonna happen. Go Luke.
Luke, what do you got?
The Kraken haven't been doing that bad as of recent compared to their rest of their season. But still, this is the fucking Wild. They're still competing for fucking playoff spots. You know, it's actually crazy because you know what's funny? The other conference is fucking locked up fully, but this one isn't. But still, give me the Wild.
Yeah, I'm taking the Wild as well. Dylan said it. The Wild are the better hockey team. Luke picked it. The Wild are the better hockey team. I'm picking it too. The Wild are the better hockey team. Go Wild. I support Zach Fuller fully on this game. Game number 3.
Ride.
I'm sorry, Zach. I had to do this.
Game number 3. We have the Colorado Avalanche going to Edmonton.
Shit.
Friday night at 9 p.m. to play the Oilers.
Can we just pick overs?
No biggie. They're just 2 of the best teams in hockey. Fuck.
And it's still the
Debatable.
regular season, so
Debatable.
the Oilers can play really well tonight or that night.
Debatable on that.
No, Luke,
I'm
it's
gonna
still
I'm
not
gonna
the
take-
playoffs.
yeah.
Edmonton can do
I'm
good.
gonna take
True.
the Avalanche. Give me Colorado.
Luke, what do we got?
All right, dude, this is fucked up. I the last couple times I've low key taken the Avs, and low key have missed. And
Pretty high key.
it is pretty high key, so it's really kind of
You
like
just brought it up twice.
I need to ride against them, but I can't.
Abs it is?
It's got to be the Avs, bro.
Ah, it's
Hurt.
gotta be.
Yes, I pulled him in.
All right, well, fellas, I'm gonna have to take the Abs as well.
No.
It is what it is.
Oh,
I'm taking
shit.
the Abs.
Oh, you jumped because Luke
Fuck.
jumped.
Fuck.
No, I did not jump anywhere. It was Abs from the get-go. The Oilers are a good regular season team, but the Abs are pushing this year. They're
God,
gonna
you
go
guys
somewhere.
disagree one time on these fucking picks ever?
No, that's why we can keep going up. You can keep going down.
I just passed.
We
you.
got NFL
I'm
to
in
do
second,
next.
You're
That actually is true,
in third.
Hey, that's fine.
but it is fine because it is that.
Then why are
close.
you
He
the
could
one that's
pass you
mad?
again.
Because it's so irritating every time.
Is that irritating?
And I don't understand why you're always on the same goddamn page.
Oh, I don't understand why you're always on the opposite page. Maybe that's more of an issue than why we're always on the same page. Have you ever thought about it the opposite way, Dylan?
No, because
Yeah.
I'm normally on the same page as Jesse.
Do you know what's gonna be bad, Dylan?
Normally not here, so you're normally not on the same page as
So
anybody.
now I'm exactly. This is the
Do
fucking
you know what's gonna be
problem.
bad, Dylan? When after the hockey season's over and the puck luck picks ends, and I'm above you in both basketball and hockey picks.
Damn, you know what's crazy is my comeback. That shit's gonna be legendary.
You got
Yeah, we'll see.
From fourth to first.
you got this pod, next pod, and the pod
I got
after
one more.
that, and
Yep,
that's
I got
the
3
that's the
pods. I
season.
did the math already.
Good luck.
I can do it.
9
We
games.
got Deebo Samuel news. Deebo Samuel is requesting a trade out of San Francisco. I had to move on. I didn't think you guys would ever stop talking about
We
that
weren't gonna.
situation. So
No.
Deebo Samuel is requesting a trade out of San Francisco. Dylan, where's Deebo going?
All right. Me? I think he's going to Philly, and I hate it. But that's what makes most sense, and that's what I honestly see being a good fit.
Luke, I muted Dylan. I can't believe he just fucking said Philadelphia. You're up.
Yeah, that was
I'm in
gutting.
disgust.
Ugh,
We'll let him back in
Philly.
30
Why
seconds
would you
after
want
he comes up with a second team.
Philly?
Because I'm
would you want a
disgusted. And I'm going
Philadelphia
to throw
team
up
to
in my
get better?
mouth.
Why would you want a Philadelphia team
Yeah,
to get
we
better?
can't be supporting Philly. You want Travis to be glorified, part 2?
Yeah, we'd have to hear it from Travis all the time.
Dylan, where's
But
he going? I say where he's going.
where is he going? Where is he going?
Dylan,
Who
where's he
could
going that
use
won't
him?
fucking piss
Who
me
could
the
use
hell
him?
off?
Who could use him? Fucking, you guys are
Who's
gonna
gonna
actually,
give him
you're
that
gonna
money?
give me the Dylan treatment, or you might, but the Cowboys. But
You said that last time. And the
well,
time
then
before that. Every time we say where does the receiver need to go, you say Dallas.
Because he's gonna take Dak as his fucking fantasy quarterback, and that's what he wants. Okay, that's
No,
the premise of Luke's entire.
I just really
Cowboy.
fell in love with Dak as in my fantasy. I mean, I just like him as a player now.
Right, so you
I
support
want him to do
him
good.
getting weapons because I'm gonna take
But-
Dak. I'm taking Dak this year.
You
Make
know,
sure you
I
don't
would.
like him.
I think the Lions should ultimately try because
Got the money, need the receiver,
he would
need
open
a
up a
game
lot of
changer.
things.
He would make everybody on the offense better. Yeah, I don't see any reason not to, but I can tell
And
you
honestly,
for a
it
fact
would
that
probably
we're
help
not
out
going
Goff.
to even try.
Probably help out Goff a bit, taking some pressure off him.
No, definitely. As fucking pissed off as it's gonna make everyone that is including myself to say it, I think that Green Bay is an option.
Okay, so we're all going to be pissed. Either way. Dallas, Green Bay, or fucking Philly. Either way, we're going to be
Yeah, it makes me want to not talk about Debo. What an asshole.
Yeah,
he's going to go play for some team that
out
isn't
of those
us.
three, the only other team I can see is New England. So, like, that doesn't help either.
What if he goes to Denver with Russ?
Oh, that would be nuts.
That would be.
I would like that.
Who's going to give him this contract, though? Because since
that's the thing. He wants a giant contract. So
Christian Kirk ruined the wide receiver market.
Okay, who can afford it? That's the real question.
Well, Miami's out.
Yeah, Miami. Well, Miami doesn't need him.
Once again, and I swear I keep going back to these guys. Baltimore.
Damn. Yeah, Baltimore.
You have the money.
Baltimore. All right, you know what? I like Baltimore best option.
Yeah.
I can support
put him with Lamar? Man.
That's problematic for everybody.
Damn, that actually would. Because you're not only going to have running backs, you're going to have a QB running back and then a wide receiver running back.
Facts.
Yeah, and he wants a more traditional wide receiver role. Well, Baltimore can give that to him because their quarterbacks are running back and their running backs are running backs, so they need traditional wide receivers. So you can play that role. So at the end of this conversation, we have concluded that the best possible option for Deebo Samuel is the Baltimore Ravens.
Cowboys.
We've never come to a full conclusion like this, but we're going with the Ravens as a squad here. So next up, we got the Titans and A.J. Brown. The situation got a little weird because the Titans and A.J. Brown needed to create a new contract because he wants some more money because, like Dylan said, Christian Kirk messed up the whole market. And so then there were some weird tweets coming out saying, oh, they switch up so fast. And A.J. Brown was being real weird about having fans think that there was a problem with his contract and getting back with the Titans. But it has appeared that they are back into the works of getting that contract sorted out, and he will be returning to the Titans for an extended amount of time. Next up, we have Denzel Ward receiving a $100 million deal. Dylan, what's the news on this contract?
So Denzel Ward is now become the highest paid cornerback in the NFL after getting a 5-year, $100 million deal with $71 million guaranteed. And I actually don't hate it. I originally read it and went, whoa. This seems wild to me. But I think that's just because when you think of top QBs and the top cornerbacks in the game, for some reason, Denzel Ward isn't a guy that you think of as that top guy. But when you really look back at his numbers, when you really look back at the film, he is one of, if not the best corner in the league right now. Do I think that he should be paid $100 million? Maybe a little
Over
less.
how long?
But at the same time,
how long is the contract?
5 years.
Don't just deny me.
So at the same time, here's how I look at it.
$25 million a year.
We know Deshaun's going to be somebody that's going to be in Cleveland for a while now. So if Deshaun's going to be that guy in Cleveland that's going to stir them to the bull because it was not Baker, it's going to be Deshaun, that means you have to have the defense locked up. We already know Cleveland has a good defense. So let's keep the captain. Let's keep the main guy on there with a big deal locked up 5 years. I love it. And I think it's actually well-deserved 100%.
Absolutely fantastic. All right. Well, that's all we have for the NFL news. So, with that being said, we will move on to the NBA news that we have just a wee bit. And that is, other than the playoffs that we did earlier, it's that Marcus Smart was named the Defensive Player of the Year. Just a kind of an honorable mention here of the NBA news. So, Marcus Smart, shout out Defensive Player of the Year. Keep it on lock if you want to
First
win that
guard
series.
since '96.
Yeah, how about that? How about that?
That Gary Payton.
Ew.
Next up, we got MLB news, and I'm personally going to exit myself from this. This is basically all Dylan, and Luke and I really, me and Luke talked about the one thing we had to earlier already. That was the Miguel Cabrera situation with New York. So,
Ooh, can I tell my
Dylan,
story real quick?
Dylan,
You
feel
tell
free
your
to touch on that and whatever. And me and Luke are going to fluff off, and the rest of the pod is pretty much yours because it's all MLB. So,
Oh, wait. Did you guys
yeah.
you guys started with hockey then? That makes sense.
Oh, yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
dude.
All right,
It's all
for sure.
you.
All right, bet. Appreciate
Do you
it.
know how
Peace,
much you
toe,
missed?
snug, love, peace, happiness. Everyone be nice to
Vibe.
Dylan.
Vibe.
Yeah, man, I'm young. Not that young, though. All right, so let's get to the MLB news. But before we start with an update, I got a little story. I'll make it real quick. So, yesterday, watching the baseball game with my father, we're sitting on the couch, and Miguel Cabrera is at 2996. And we're like, he had tickets for the game, and we're talking about maybe going not. Just screw it because, if he happened to hit it, that'd be amazing. And he looks at me and he goes, we wouldn't go unless he's like 4 for 4, 3 for 3, because he would have to go 4 for 4. He gets one hit. No one thinks anything of it. He gets the second hit, and I look at him like, hey, maybe we should go. And then he was like, I think we should genuinely go. And then he kind of talked himself out of it like, no, it's stupid. Miggy gets his third hit, and my father looks at me and says, all right, get in the goddamn car, we're going. So we drive down to the game, 30 minutes. We get there at the 8th inning, run from the top of the 8th, the whole top of the 8th. We're just running from point A to the stadium. Get in. The second we walk in, we get into a seat. All we hear is now batting, number 24, Miguel Cabrera. He gets in. He strikes out. We didn't see it, but it was a hell of a fucking journey just to go see it because it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I know that Rabbit will most likely be at the game tomorrow when he does make history. So, when he does make history, that's a big thing there. But now, we got a lot of baseball news, and let's start from the top. Jake Arrieta. He is one of the best players in all of baseball for a good amount of 2015, 2016. He's a former Cy Young and former All-Star, most notably when he was all on the Chicago Cubs and they made that World Series run. Jake Arrieta was their ace. He has decided to retire after 12 MLB seasons. He went to San Diego. Honestly, I'm going to be completely honest with you. Just shoot this shit straight. Since he left Chicago, he fell the fuck off. He wasn't shit on Philadelphia. He was not throwing like Arrieta. Went to San Diego. Was not throwing like Arrieta. Sometimes you get old and you don't have the shit anymore. And I think that's what happens. And it makes it harder when you're a sinker pitcher and you're not a fastball pitcher because you need your shit to stay on command as long as possible. Also, staying on the Padres. Fun little thing here is that the San Diego Padres become the first MLB club to unveil a jersey sponsorship after they are partnering with Motorola. That's
Motorola.
Thank you. I was going to say that's the logo for anyone that didn't know. But I think this is cool because this basically tells everyone right now they're the first. They won't be the last. I'm sure it's going to be very similar to hockey where sponsorships are not going to be on the jersey. I don't have a problem with it. You guys want to get extra money, as long as it's not a giant patch that looks ugly and ruins the jersey. Next, when it comes to the Colorado Rockies, believe it or not, they're 8-3. Yes, the 8-3 Rockies are off to a hell of a start this year. And their main pitcher, Kyle Freeland, they just locked up to
8-4 tomorrow, bitches.
And they just got locked him up to a milky deal. 5 years, $64 million deal. I really love the shit that Kyle Freeland throws. Obviously, his numbers are a little harder at home, but anyone that pitches at Coors Field with that altitude, your numbers are harder to get. Your numbers are most likely harder to maintain. I think that he's a great pitcher, and I think that he's probably going to be that guy because German Marquez is not going to be that pitcher in Colorado anymore, obviously. So they're going to go to Freeland. And, yeah, I think that's honestly a great idea. I think that's a great choice. And I'm happy that they did that. Damn, I thought I had more than I did, but I guess not. Oh, yes, I have two things. I have the attendance of the Oakland A's game. And when I say that statement right there, you're probably going, why the hell do I care? Well, this is why. So the Oakland A's are notably the most famous for, I'd say in the past year, doing one thing in the offseason that I have not seen in a very long time. They spent $0, a fucking goose egg. They didn't lay $1 on the line for anything. And their fans essentially saw that as, we've heard the rumors about you guys leaving. We think you're going to leave. Now you want to spend no money on the team, showing you don't give a shit about this team right now. The attendance for the last game on, I believe, Tuesday, it was 3,748. Then on Wednesday, they didn't even crack 3,000 people in the entire stadium. It was unbelievable. The fans have given up on the team. The city's given up on the team. The only people who haven't given up on the team are the players that have to go out there and compete.
Dylan, what is the maximum capacity at this stadium?
That's a great question, because you got to think about it. It's the Coliseum. The Coliseum is
huge. That bitch is huge.
Oakland.
I remember when they were in the playoffs, how packed it was.
Coliseum.
But just compare it to the maximum capacity, what they have now.
God damn it. Everything's just popping up from the other day. Attendance record. There we go. 56,782.
Oh my
God. Not even 3,000 came to the game on Wednesday. So they given up. They don't care. They say, if you guys don't give a shit about the shit that you want us to come and see and the shit that you want us to come and watch, why would we even show up? And I will say, even when the Tigers, when they're dumpity dumps, we still cracked 5K. So, I mean, this is honestly unbelievable.
This is what we should have done to the Lions 25, 30 years ago and still have never done.
That's the problem.
And that's why the Fords are still the owners. Yes. Period. If you want to bring it into relevancy to Detroit, that is where I see a comparison.
It's a catch-22 in my eyes, because when I look at the owner of the A's, I love this. You treat the people like shit. This is honestly what he deserves. I'm glad that he's facing the consequences for being a fucking idiot in the offseason. But I do fucking feel bad for the players, because my thing is you at this point are almost looking forward to away games to get more of a reaction in general than at home, because the only reason players like playing at home is you have the home field advantage. There ain't no goddamn advantage when there's 3,000 people, and it's like playing in the minors. Shit don't mean anything. So it's really just a damn shame for them, to be completely honest with you. Final thing I got, player of the week, sticking with the Rockies. I had to give it to that man, former Detroit Tiger, CJ Cron, because I was going to give it to Ramirez, but he's an Indian. I don't fuck with the Indians. And Jose Ramirez, I'll just say, is smashing the baseball in the AL. But CJ Cron has to be talked about, because in his last 7 games, he's got 10 hits, 4 homers, 11 RBIs. And this man has been absolutely cranking the ball. He's got a .926 slugging percentage in the past week. And I think that the biggest thing about CJ Cron is he was a big power hitter when he was on Detroit. But the big thing is when he would hit a home run, he would mash it. He would get the velocity and the trajectory of the ball. He would get under it perfectly to where he could sail it no matter where he was playing. You put him in Coors Field. I was just recently watching when he hit his 2-homer game the other day. I showed both homers to Tyler. The first homer went over the hot dog stand at Coors Field over 450 feet. And the second one carried more to the right field side, but was 3 rows from going up to the top concourse. So when he gets a hold of the ball, he's going to absolutely rip it. And I think that he's one of the biggest factors in the reason that Colorado is 8-3, will be 8-4 tomorrow, and one of the biggest surprises in MLB to come so far. That is all the MLB news that I do have, though. So, Tyler, you can close this bitch out now. Beautiful. Yes. Or you cannot, and then make me close it out. I appreciate you. So, thank you for watching Ride the Tide Sports Podcast. I am McDilly, even though that I came in 25 goddamn minutes late. That was Tyco. That was Snoop Luke. If you want to see more of us, if you want to see more of entertainment, if you want to see more of anything that'll meet your needs, you're going to go to Six Pack Coverage, because they got anything that you're looking for. And even if you're not looking for it, if you go to the website, you'll probably find something you didn't know you were looking for. So you might as well just go there anyway, because it seems like a great idea. I believe that the boys should be back on Saturday. Tyler, is that correct?
Correct.
Correct.
Well,
So
actually, we're going to push that to Sunday.
Sunday. So the next time we will see you will be Sunday. Until then, ride the tide. Peace.
It's your place or it's mine, so